Today we're going to shoot a video on the Lloyd Table Company Total Dimension Flexion Headpiece. The Total Dimension Flexion Headpiece is the most versatile headpiece in the marketplace today. Okay, so we're going to go over it feature for feature. We're going to start with the paper attachment. It is a spring-loaded paper attachment that is easily taken on and off, and for sake of this video we're going to leave it off so that we can see the functionality of the table really well. The next piece we're going to discuss is the sub-occipital strap. Okay, of course the sub-occipital strap goes on the sub-occipital, and it's designed to keep a patient's head or face very close to the cushion set. So as you do your traction and go down, you want there to be some really nice cervical traction, and the only way that happens is if their head is coming down with the cushion. So the sub-occipital strap is very important to put in place. It actually snaps on either side. The snaps are just under the piece, so it snaps on and snaps off very easily. So again, we're going to take that off for sake of this video so that you can see the parts and the components as well as possible. Okay, so we start with the elevation of the headpiece. So it's a knob on either side, and you simply turn the knob and the headpiece goes up and down. It's got a 5-inch range to it. Okay, I'm going to leave it in the up position so that we can see as much of the mechanical workings under the headpiece as possible. Alright, so this yellow knob right here is your drop cocking knob. So as we push down on the knob, the drop comes up. Okay, so this motion here is a forward motion drop. As we take this black handle and pull it out, when the drop is in the down position, it's now a toggle drop. Again, with the drop in the down position, push the knob in, and we go back to a forward motion knob. A forward motion drop. Okay? So we do this adjustment here when the headpiece is in the down position. Alright? This knob down here below is a lateral flexion release. So we have a very nice range of lateral flexion in this headpiece, and you can lock it in at any position. Let's see, where's our lock? There's our lock right there. Lock it in at any position and do your drops, and you unlock it and you put it back in. So that's our lateral flexion lock. Okay? So the headpiece also does long axis traction. So as we pull this knob out, so it's a spring-loaded knob, so you pull it out and turn it. When you pull this knob out and turn it, you have your full range of traction. Again, that's about 5 inches, and this rod here has a hole in it, and this hole here, when you turn this knob, again, it's spring-loaded. Now the knob just went back in place, but when the hole goes over top of the rod or the knob here, it locks back in. So we locked in our traction, and again, you just pull it and twist it, and so you unlock it. Alright, so you can do 2 different motions at once. When our patient is in place, we can do the flexion and the traction at once. So a lot of doctors like to do both of those 2 features at once when they're treating their patients. Alright, so we lock it back in, we have some back and forth motion, and the hole's grabbed by the knob, so we're back locked in the neutral position for the long axis traction. Alright, as we move to the front here, we have 2 black knobs, one on either side, and they are actually ratchet knobs, and they allow some adjustment here on your handle or your handlebar, as the doctor would keep one hand on this to guide the motion of the headpiece. So when you get it at the position you like it, okay, I'm going to leave it down again. We tighten this knob, righty-tighty, and we tighten this knob, righty-tighty. All right? So our knob is in the locked position. Okay? This knob over here has an L shape to it. So as I pull out and turn, there's our L slot right there. I pull out and turn, I unlock this tooth mechanism. As soon as I do that, I have complete control over the depth of flexion on our total dimension flexion head. I can go into extension, and I can go into flexion. And I can lock it at most any point in there. All right? Okay, we have this knob here, and it's another spring-loaded knob where you pull and you turn. So when you turn the knob, it locks in the out position so that we're open, and this position here, notice the rotation is around the axis of the cervical spine. Okay, it's a very unique sort of motion, and if you're dealing with any cervical scoliosis, it's an ideal sort of rotation move. Okay, so we can lock it in a rotated, locked out position, and again, we can do drops in any one of those positions. Okay, so we're going to pull it back out and return it to the neutral position, and there you have that. All right, so we have our two cushions, and yes, the two cushions are of two different sizes, and that has to do with the engineering of the headpiece. Right down the center, you have your paper guide. As your paper would be put on over on the side, paper runs through here, and this is a paper guide, and it comes all the way over here to the paper cutter. Okay? So the very nice thing about that is that you can access where every patient would put their face, you can access that flat little panel there and clean it really well. Okay? So that's a very nice thing about this position, 6 or 7 position opening here. The other nice thing is this knob here is a spring-loaded knob, and as you push down on it and move it, you have all these little holes right here on this piece of metal frame here, and all you're simply doing is moving this little nipple that's on this lever here, spring-loaded lever, you're moving it to a different position. So the cushions will stay nice and tight, and you can get it to a really narrow face structure, or of course a really wide face structure. All about patient comfort here, and plus you have your access for very good cleaning. All right. On this side over here, this is your tension for your drops. Okay, as we did our drops right here, and we do a righty-tighty, you get more tension, and a lefty-loosey, you get less tension. So there's your tension mechanism. That particular knob is only on the right side as you stand in front of the table, and you have the same cocking knobs on both sides and the same elevation knobs on both sides. All right, so that is your total dimension flexion headpiece from Lloyd Table Company.